This little animated intro I did has been seen over 11 million times here on YouTube now. Just so happens it makes a pretty cool t-shirt, which you can get right down here below in my new YouTube t-shirt shop, or go to ThinkerThunker.com. Check it out. Hey, this is ThinkerThunker. Have you ever heard of anybody being shoved to death? Not shoved off a cliff, not shoved in front of a bus or down steps or anything like that, but just shoved down to the ground so hard they died, or at least suffered serious damage. Chances are you haven't, unless it was some freak accident or the pushee was in seriously bad health to begin with. Now, I bring this up to illustrate the fact that shoving isn't a lethal force, is it? I mean, we know that. Shoving is a way to start a fight, not in one. But this man here, Mr. Slaughterback, was out for a walk, broad daylight, in Ansel Hoffman Park, Carmichael, California. Other people were in the park at the time, and he was shoved down so hard by someone or something that it broke his wrist, chipped some teeth, fractured an eye socket, along with the other damage you see here. Now that is some shove. In fact, that's the most violent shove down I've ever heard of in my life. And whatever did shove him down was gone so fast, he never even got a glimpse of it. Now, a park ranger said it could have been a cougar jumping out of a tree. And Mr. Slaughterback himself said it might have been a large man that did it, which implies there's a whole lot more to this story. But I'm going to prove to you that it was neither a cougar, nor a large man, nor any other known animal here in the U.S. that could have done this. Which makes this a pretty incredible mystery. One that's already been neatly swept under the rug. But the fact is, there is something out there that is deadly elusive and stronger than any heavyweight champion ever. Strong enough to do this much damage with just shoving somebody down. And whatever did it is still on the loose. Now let's think about that for a minute. Okay, so here's the full clip.
This is what happened when 67-year-old Scott Slaughterback was violently pushed from behind to the ground while walking the trail at Ansel Hoffman Park Thursday morning. He suffered a fractured eye socket, broken wrist, had to get some stitches, and even chipped 2 teeth.
What the heck? That's crazy.
On the main trail, I walk that alone all the time.
Just walking along, and suddenly I got shoved by someone or something and ended up hitting the ground with my face.
He's not quite sure if a large-sized man attacked him from behind or if it was something like a mountain lion. A park ranger told him it could have possibly been a cougar, which jumped down from a tree limb. Scott says he just sensed that he was being watched.
I didn't see any sketchy people. I walked all over that park.
Yeah.
It was just those 3 occasions where I saw or felt and heard somebody behind me. I looked around, there was nothing I could see.
The Sacramento County Sheriff's Department confirmed that an investigation into the incident is underway. News among this tightly knit community, which enjoys the trails at the park in the solitude of nature, found Scott's injuries to be disturbing.
Definitely, yes. I probably won't go by myself. If you're going to be alone, keep an eye out.
If you're walking anywhere, really, you have to be aware of what's going on around you. You can't, you have to be listening, watching. You can't just be focused on the trail.
Others out enjoying the trail simply took things in stride.
We worry more about the rattlesnakes normally.
Or mountain lions, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is a very safe area usually, so I would say people shouldn't be too upset. Whoever it is not the normal person who visits our park.
Okay, so as far as this being a cougar attack, between 1890 and 2011, that's 121 years, there were only 20 people fatally attacked by a cougar, mountain lion, puma, whatever you want to call them. And that's not just in California. That's in all of North America. That's the US, that's Canada, Greenland. That's only one attack every 6 years in an area covering over 9.5 million square miles. That makes cougar attacks so incredibly rare, it's almost not even worth mentioning. But okay, let's call it a cougar attack. Since when do cougars attack their prey and then run off and hide? Since when do cougars take their prey down but not eat? Since when do cougars attack without leaving one single bite mark or one single scratch? Did it headbutt this man? Whatever it was that attacked him, it's pretty unlikely it was a cougar. Okay, so now we're left with Mr. Slaughterback's very own large man theory. Now think about that for just a second. What would cause him to think it was a large man? If he felt a large hand placed way up on his neck or shoulders and then pushing down from some high place above with incredible strength, that would feel like a large man shoved you down. Again, just the fact that he blamed this on a large man makes me think there is way more to this story than he's willing to tell on camera. I'd love to get to ask him. So what did it? What out there is powerful enough to do that kind of damage with just a shove? If a heavyweight boxer had been hiding out there behind a tree, snuck up and punched Mr. Slaughterback as hard as he possibly could, it would have done less damage. Boxers can only generate about 1,000 pounds of force with a punch, which is a lot. I don't want to get hit with that. It could break a jaw, but it takes 1,100 pounds of force to fracture a skull and 1,700 pounds of force to break a bone. So even if an NFL player ran up and blindsided Mr. Slaughterback full speed, or some martial arts expert jumped out and whacked him with a spinning kick, each of those generate about 1,600 pounds of force. That's still not enough to break multiple bones. And remember, he wasn't hit, he was shoved. I'm just having to use hits for comparison because nobody even bothers measuring shoving forces because it's not a lethal force. So recounting, it wasn't a cougar or any large predator in North America because they all use teeth and claws and would have left marks. And it wasn't even the largest, strongest man in the world because he's still not strong enough. But even if it was the strongest man in the world that was out there stalking poor Mr. Slaughterback, how did he just vanish like that without ever being seen once by anyone else there in the park? So that means some super elusive ninja with superhero comic book strength is still out there. Yet nobody worry because a park ranger said it could have been a cougar, one that doesn't bite or scratch or eat. So that's that. The masses, we can all go back to tweeting, all is well, but who wants to go for a walk out there today or tonight alone? Good luck with that. I bet I know one guy that will never go out there again, not alone. Because don't you know Mr. Slaughterback is wondering, why me? What did I do to whatever this thing is to make it so mad? I mean, did I not smell right? Did I not look right? Did I break some unseen barrier and was punished for it? Why me? Now, as always, I'm not saying this is proof that a forest giant, a Bigfoot, attacked this man. I can't prove that. We have nothing to go on other than what Mr. Slaughterback experienced. But you tell me what it was. But it better be big and better be really strong and doesn't use teeth or claws. And no, they don't have rams or longhorn sheep or something like that in the area that might have butted him down. But even if they did, he or somebody there in the park would have seen them. Those aren't prey animals. They're not super elusive predators. So what did it? All right, guys, that is all I've got. Thank you so much for watching. Your time to weigh in. Please keep it clean for the kids. And hey, special thanks as always to my patrons over at Patreon. Their generosity helps make this and any new videos possible. Thank you guys so very much. And so does buying one of my t-shirts here, just under our video window here. Or go to ThinkerThunker.com. Special thanks to anyone who already has bought one of my t-shirts. I'm kind of blown away by how many have sold so far. Wow. Thank you guys so much. I'm glad you like the designs. Oh yeah, also this is kind of weird. For years now, people have been telling me, hey man, when you put out new videos, YouTube has stopped notifying me. And I finally found out there's a reason for that. And that's because YouTube decided years back to only start notifying about 10% of my most active subscribers, which is kind of like finding that the bank only processes about 10% of your deposits, or the post office only mails about 10% of your letters. So if you really do want to be notified when I put out a new video, please subscribe, and then click YouTube's little bell icon down there. All right, guys, that is it. Thanks again. Take care.